Joining me today is Al Rogan, the athletic director for Lakeland College. Al, thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always great to chat with you.
Now, Al, just last week, the ACAC made an announcement with AHS restrictions starting to lessen, and they made making changes to an existing plan about how the upcoming season may look. Al, do you want to just quickly break down, what some of these changes from the pre-existing plan might have been?
You bet. So probably the biggest change that was made is that as a conference, we decided that we would not be sending any teams to national championships. That's sort of the pinnacle of every athlete's season, is being able to attend nationals. We just felt that in the current environment, it just wouldn't be in the best interest of our programs to send teams out to nationals across the country, especially when we're looking at, potentially trying to figure out how we're going to run a season in our own conference, in our own province. So we made that decision. Ontario also made that decision. So I know that the CITL will be coming out quickly, I think sometime today, announcing that there will be no national championships at all this year. So I guess in retrospect, it's probably a good decision from our conference's perspective. Also, some decisions we made were, we decided that we weren't going to cancel the season at this point in time. We're still looking at the potential of having a season in January. We still haven't confirmed that will happen, but what we've done is we've given the ACAC sort of the task of trying to put something together to create a season. So their student athletes from all of our institutions have an opportunity to compete starting January.
Now,
and those are probably two. Yeah.
Previous to this last week, was there still a chance that, the ACACN teams were going to go to nationals, or was that really out of the question pretty early on?
It wasn't official. We've had a lot of sidebar conversations about, would this be something realistic that we could do? And I think a lot of institutions just, we're looking at it going, it just isn't realistic with the current environment, and we just haven't seen enough change as far as COVID goes to make that happen. So last week we made it official, but I don't know if it was really something that was an optimistic, realistic pursuit for any of us, even early on. But we had to make it official, and we sent that information into the CCAA last week. So.
Now, you mentioned that that two-semester sports that would be starting in the winter, it's still uncertain what's happening there. Now, are you able to tell us, which way it's sort of leaning, what the future possibly could look like?
To be honest, I would just be guessing at this time. I think what everybody's waiting for is what the plan will be from the ACAC. I know the ACAC office is working really closely with Alberta Health. And they're sending out questionnaires to the different institutions saying, okay, what are basically deal breakers for you? What are things that you will absolutely need to have for your institution to be able to compete in an ACAC league format? Once those parameters come out, I think that institutions will have to look at it from their own institution perspective and decide, does this fit inside of our procedures as far as our guidelines for COVID goes? And some institutions might decide that it works for them, and some institutions might decide it doesn't. But so, I know the office is putting together plans, and they're trying to get the best information from the conference members to sort of figure out what that plan could look like. And in the end, if it isn't something that institutions won't take a risk on, then institutions will kind of be on their own to decide how they want to potentially create competitive experiences for their student athletes.
Now, final question for you, Al, taking it now closer to Lakeland here. Just earlier this month, the women's volleyball team made a donation towards the Salvation Army. Now, was this done through Lakeland College, or did these girls go off on their own and do this?
What we task all of our teams with, and these initiatives haven't changed in our new reality, is that we task all of our teams with doing stuff in the community. So whether it's putting shoe boxes together for the shoebox campaign or making donations, and we give the programs some latitude on what they want to do. So the women's volleyball team, they saw a need. They met the need. So that was an initiative the women's volleyball team put together. And, once again, when any one of our programs do something like that, we're really proud of them. They're doing it representing Lakeland College, but it was an initiative that they put together on their own, and they went out and they did. So, we're hoping that, we're going to see more initiatives like that from our student athletes from all of our programs. And I know there's some things in the hopper here that they've been talking about as well, different teams. So there'll probably be a few more things like that happening over the competitive season. So.
And donations from that went to women under 25 who couldn't afford feminine hygiene products. Al, thank you very much for joining me. I think it's safe to say we can all, we are all optimistic. Hopefully there will be an upcoming ACAC season.
Yeah, we're hopeful to supply a student athlete experience for our kids. And if we can do that, hopefully have people watching that. So thanks for the time, Evan.